all things curriculum. And this is going to be whatever comes to mind. I will go wherever you guys take me with the curriculum. Okay. I see you. You're a home girl. Come on over to YouTube. I will see you there. All right. My YouTube people. And now I guess I can share it. We're live. Sorry, guys. I'm going to stop doing this on YouTube. We're live now. We're live on YouTube. I'm going to do this well before YouTube so you guys don't have to see all of this. We're live on YouTube now. Link in bio. Ooh, got to spell now right. Link in bio. All right. Here we go. And it's not going anywhere. Okay, share. Share. Okay. Oh, it didn't take my caption. Anyway, I don't think Instagram is for me. What's going on, everybody? It's Niki with Homeschool Knockouts. If you have not looked on my community tab on my homepage, I have a poll, and the poll will ask you what live stream day works best for you. And I list Tuesday at 12 o'clock, which is now, Wednesday at 11 o'clock, and then Thursday at 10 o'clock. Let me drop it down so y'all can see me. Just back it up. So I'm going forward, and I looked at my analytics, and I want to be able to reach you guys when you are most active. I know you're homeschoolers, most of you, and so you're homeschooling during the day. You know, I know some of you homeschool later on or super early in the morning, or your kids are independent and you can get away for an hour or so. So I am talking to all of you guys. So when this live stream is over, going over to the community chat, and then let me know what days work best for you. Okay, so what are we talking about? We are talking about, and I just pulled this up just last minute, guys, because I realized I was going live today at 12. But we're going to talk about curriculum because that is by far the most popular question I always get. What's the best curriculum for writing or for math? Or what works best for a child who hates X, Y, and Z? What curriculum works best if I don't have a lot of time to teach? So I want to talk about that. I'll throw out a couple of examples, but this is interactive, and I want to make sure that you guys participate. So for those in the chat, if you can hear me and see me, please put a 1 in the chat so I know that everything is okay. Okay. If you want to start with, we can start with writing. I didn't bring any curriculum here because I have a lot. So I wasn't sure what you guys wanted, but we can start with writing. We can start with math. And let me see if I can just grab, I can't get to some of my curriculum. I have it over here. Well, you know what? Let me just start with what we've used. Now, I know someone in the comments asked me, what are you using for 7th grade? Okay. There is a story and a video coming out on what I had planned for 7th grade. But just so you know, if you want to write this down, I've been pretty consistent with starting 7th grade off with this curriculum. And then as things change throughout the year based on my child, our curriculum changes. But for 7th grade curriculum for writing, you know what? I think I'm going to go grab the books. We use writing and rhetoric. Y'all know, if you've been around for a while, you've been following me for a while, I love that curriculum. I like it so much across all the age spans. It's been consistent for us. Now, in 7th grade, if you go by the recommended levels in the book, I think you're on book 8 or 9. There are 10 or 11 books, and they kind of top off at 8th grade. But you can, spill over into high school. But it is writing and rhetoric. And as more of you guys come in, I can bring that out and I can show it to you. But writing and rhetoric, why do we like that? Now, a lot of you know that I like to use curriculum that is story-based or literature-based. For example, Life of Fred is story-based math. Beast Academy, my all-time favorite, is story-based math. Writing and rhetoric uses a lot of stories to start off each chapter. Each chapter starts off with a story. So you can kind of see the theme here. For grammar, I use Michael Clay Thompson. definitely literature based. All of his things are literature based approaches to teaching. So I've used that. So for writing, for math, for grammar, for science, we used the story Joy Hakeem, the story of science. And then we have like a little supplement. We also used The Universe by, this was for chemistry, The Universe. Oh, what's that woman's name? Ellen something, but it's stories. Very conversational. And see what other subjects are left. History, we use Book Shark in the beginning, and then I had to like sub in my own books, but it's definitely a literature story-based approach to history. We've also used Joy Hakeem. So those are some options that you can use. Now for 7th grade, just to answer one of the more recent comments that I got. So writing and rhetoric, let me just see if I can just, well, let me just go to the website since I really can't get up because I have a lot of junk behind me. Writing and rhetoric. And then I can just show you what it looks like, because I can't remember if it was book 8 or book 9. It doesn't matter. It's really based on your child. Let me just pick on one. My oldest son, who was in 11th grade, when he was in 7th grade, I started him on, let me see if it shows me the back of the book. Back cover. Okay, so let me share my screen with you guys. Oh my gosh, hold on, y'all. I have to do something in YouTube. This is what happens when you do things last minute. Last minute. All right. Hope it's not too late. Okay. All right. I should be good for that. All right. So let me share my screen. And we are sharing writing and rhetoric. Okay. So right here, let me try to make this bigger. Oh, no, didn't want to print. Bigger, girl, bigger. Okay, now you see it. Okay. Guys, can you put a 1 in the chat if you can see the writing and rhetoric? Okay, I can see it now. And let me just make myself a little bit smaller. Okay, so writing and rhetoric for writing. Now, my 7th grader, now we moved through the book series fairly quickly because I eventually cut out the grammar. So we did a little bit of the grammar, but not much. So we were able to get through like almost like 2 books a semester. But if you were just starting and you wanted to go at the recommended pace, your child going into 7th grade would typically start at book 7 or book 8 or book 9 or 10. You see the range here, book 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there's a big range. So there's no need to rush or jump to anything. But I think book 7 is persuasive. Book 8 is writing comparison paragraphs. Book 9 is really extending your essay. I forgot what book 9 was. Anyway, I'll have to pull that up. But that's what we use for 7th grade for writing. Now, for math, that's a whole different story. I think I use a different math curriculum for each child. But for the last child, it was Dimensions Math 7. And Dimensions Math is like Singapore math, but definitely Dimensions Math actually starts at like kinder now, and it goes up to 7th grade. Before it didn't. It was really just Dimensions was used in public schools, and in the homeschool market, it was Singapore. But now it's kind of blended together. So now you have access to Dimensions. The only thing with Dimensions versus Singapore math or primary mathematics is that let me take this off the screen real quick. Is that the primary mathematics is the home instructor guide. It speaks to you as you are homeschooling, like you have 1 kid, maybe 2 or 3, and you don't have all this extra stuff like breakout rooms or breakout group things like that a teacher in the classroom would have. So Dimensions, you'll have to do a little bit of tweaking because it is geared for the classroom teacher, but for the home instructor guide versions of Singapore math/primary mathematics, it knows that you are a homeschooling person using this, and then it adjusts the activities and the work and everything for, you know, the few kids that are being taught. But so dimensions 7. And just so you know, like, I didn't use it with my middle child because it's very challenging. When you finish dimensions math series, you can go straight into geometry. So you get elements of algebra 1, you know, everything from what you typically learn in like 7th grade math all the way up to algebra 1, being able then to go into geometry. As an alternative to that, my other son, he used Math Mammoth. Actually, he used a bit of Singapore Math and Math Mammoth, just because he learns differently than his other 2 brothers do. And I like Math Mammoth in that it's straight and to the point. It's kind of procedural like. It's no story. It's no discovery based approach. It is. We about to get this done. I like it for that. So I like it for that. So for 7th grade, what version would that be for Math Mammoth, y'all? Because I don't have anything right here with me. Math Mammoth. Let me see. I'm pulling this up for you guys. Okay, so let's go to Rainbow Resource. I believe it's the light blue series. I got so much stuff in my closet. Yes. Okay, so let me share this screen. Wait, maybe I am sharing it. Let's see, share. Okay, perfect. So let me just make that bigger. Okay, so, and you don't need all of this, guys. This is a package set, like a bundle. But you see, you know what? The one thing I don't like about Rainbow Resource, they don't show you like inside. They don't show you the inside of what it looks like. I might have to go to Christian Homeschool or something like that. But anyway, so I would always definitely get an answer key, whether it's math, writing, grammar, whatever. But the work text, the answer keys, definitely the tests. If you feel you need that output for math, you need to see how your child is progressing, because remember, unlike writing and history and reading, math is building blocks, meaning if you don't cover this level, if you go to the next level, you're going to have lots of gaps. And the higher you go, the more gaps present themselves until you get to a point where all the gaps, it's like a perforated paper. Let me show you. Y'all think I'm math. This is why I know people are like, I don't test. Oh, this has my billing information on it. I don't like to do all that. Fine. I'm against testing. I'm not a big fan of testing. I'm just trying to find a clear piece of paper. I guess I'm going to use one of these. So when you have these gaps, oh, here we go. Pull this up right here. When you have these gaps in their learning, and believe me, I saw it because my middle child, it took him 4 months to get through adding and subtracting fractions and a little bit of division. But look, because I believe visuals are very important, y'all. Visuals are important. Here you go. Okay, 3rd grade. Sorry, Kathy Lip. I bought this from a homeschool conference years ago. 3rd grade is when the math starts to inch up. You know, if you're kind of ahead, you might be doing fractions in 3rd grade. All right. You don't really quite grasp fractions. That's when you start seeing the potholes. Boom. That's the first hole, the gap. Then you move on 4th grade. Oh, let's stay in 3rd grade. You never really quite got long division, like 2-digit, 3-digit long division. You never really quite got that. Or you couldn't really do division with zeros, you know, whatever it is. So 2 gaps in 3rd grade. Then you roll on over to 4th grade. Okay, what did they do in 4th grade? They're expanding on fractions. Now it's like dividing and multiplying. You're good with dividing. Can't do multiplication, fractions. Okay, now you're doing more word problems. You're doing decimals. Yeah, those decimals with the zeros, you know, kind of throws you off. Boom. There goes another hole, another gap in the learning. Next thing you know, You're bringing on ratios. You're bringing on, let's see, percents. You're bringing on more word problems. You getting the point? Now you're in 6th grade and you got what? Rational numbers. You see where I'm going with that? So by the time you hit 9th grade, child, look, you've just fallen through the cracks because you've got too many holes and gaps in your learning. So all that to say, do some kind of assessment with math, because math is one of the easiest things to do with intervention. It's easy. Yes and no. Okay, you're having problems with adding fractions. Boom. Let me go to Khan Academy. Let me go on YouTube, look at some videos. Let me go to iExcel and plug in some assignments for you to do and some extra learning or different approaches to how to do that. Okay. It's a little bit harder when it's like reading comprehension and your child can't really get inferences or things like that. You have to kind of be more of a detective. But for math, when you see problems, it's really easy to access resources to get them back on track. That's why I'm a big proponent of just assessing them. You don't have to give them like a test or all that, just because kids forget what they learn. So after they learn the concept and you moved on, if your math curriculum doesn't have a spiral approach, which means a spiral approach just means there are a couple of approaches with the curriculum, especially with math. You have what's called a mastery approach, which means you master this concept before you go on to the next concept. So you might spend a long time on one concept in that textbook or curriculum before you move on. With a spiral approach, it just what you think it is. It's a spiral. So you go forward a unit, and then in that next unit, you get a little sprinkling of what you did in the previous unit. You spiral back just to kind of keep it fresh in your mind so you don't forget. I like both. I think you can use both successfully, but spiral is more of a gentle approach because it lets you move on to something else and get a fresh. It's almost like writing. If you're a real writer, you write, you put the writing away, you come back to it with fresh eyes, and then you start to see gaps or holes or things because you've not been looking at it forever and your eyes are bleeding. So with math, with the mastery approach, you are on that one topic forever. And then you get tired of it and you just can't see the forest for the trees. With a spiral approach to math, you do a little bit fractions, adding, subtracting, then you do a little bit, a couple L's, then you go on to say percents next, and then with percents there might be some fractions involved in the questions. So you see how you're still using what you just learned, but it's incorporated into the new learning. So I like that. So for 7th grade, things are starting to rev up before you go to high school. I personally, for me, from what I've seen with children who struggle or children who forget things, which is a lot of us, I like a spiral approach. Okay, so that's math. So one child did Dimension 7, another did Math Mammoth, and then one did Mr. D and Singapore Math. That was back in the day. So, and you'll see a lot of times I'll use 2 different curriculums because I'll find that one curriculum is great on 7 topics, but then 3 other topics, I need another curriculum that kind of teaches it a different way or a better way, or just a way that I think will work better, because not all curriculum, you won't find Mr. Right in your curriculum. You're going to have to step outside your house and find you a little breezy, a little side chick or something with your curriculum. Okay. So sometimes that happens. Any questions or comments so far? Any questions or comments? If you guys can hear me, can you put a 1 in the comments? Just so I know. All right. So that was math curriculum for 7th grade, writing curriculum. Now, another curriculum that I love for 7th graders, this one is a literature-based approach, and it is Michael Clay Thompson, and actually it's lightning literature, which is more literature. Sorry for that. I'm just mixing in ELA, but right source, I need to do a video on that. I actually really like WriteSource. If I didn't like writing and rhetoric as much, I would be using WriteSource. Thank you, Paige. Thank you for that. I think what I might do for tomorrow's live at 11 o'clock, I'll bring in all the curriculum and I'll keep it here. And then you guys, if you're using something at home, you can say, hey, I'm using Easy Grammar, I'm using WriteSource, I'm using Math Mammoth. How do you use that? How do you make sense with that? What's your planning schedule with that? And then we can work through that. Okay. And then I can pull out my old lesson planners. One reason why I suggest you should, keep a teacher planner, so I can see, oh, this is what we did this year. Okay, so that's math, that's writing, science. Y'all know my struggles with science. My oldest one, we did piecemeal with science. Again, when you have a subject that you don't like to teach, or you don't feel confident in teaching for whatever reason, you don't want to teach that subject, or you decide, hey, I'm a working parent, I can only give them 2 subjects, the rest I have to outsource. OutSchool is your best friend. I did say in a previous video that I would give you the list of the classes and the teachers that I've used once my kids were done with that. And now I can do that. So that could be I know I will make a forthcoming video about that. But for science, oh man, we had this amazing teacher. She was a little public schooly with like Google Classroom and all this other stuff, but that was extra. You didn't have to do it. But she was very energetic. Her labs were fun. And that was the main thing. I told my kid, don't worry about all that other stuff. I'll give you your own reading and everything. All this little other stuff is extra busy work. But OutSchool is your best friend. You have and I've talked about this in previous videos, especially for middle school kids, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, because I know that's when parents are like, you're getting tired, or you just don't want to teach, or maybe kids, puberty, all this stuff is going on, and you just might need to have some distance with your child. I've used Online G3. Their platform has changed drastically from like the last 6 or 7 years when we first started using them. But I actually like their platform. It gives you a lot of information, so you can see at a glance what your child has done, how much of it they've done, and what they've done and haven't done. So I like it for that. So you don't have to micromanage your child. You can just go into your parent portal as, you know what, I might just get into like a cheap class and get on their dashboard so you guys can see. Maybe they have a demo. But I love Online G3 and Athena's Academy and OutSchool. Those are my top 3 sources for classes. So Well Trained Mind, bit pricey, and it's if you're new to online learning or the classical approach, because most of the classes, almost all the classes take a classical approach. It might not be for you, but OutSchool will have all different homeschool approaches and styles. So, and low commitment, no commitment. So I would look at OutSchool first, definitely Online G3. If you are with a homeschool charter, like we used to be in California, where they give you funds, like a couple $1,000 for the year, and broken down into installments for fall and spring semester, you can definitely use that to pay for your classes, because all the classes take charter funds. So look in your state. I think Oklahoma does charter funds. I believe Texas does. California, obviously. There are more states that are rolling that out, but not that many. But definitely check. I think Florida might have homeschool charter funds. So look out for that. Oh, I know one thing I want to do for tomorrow is talk about teacher ID cards. Okay. Right now, I know things are probably starting to settle down in your homeschool, and now is a time where you can kind of breathe and start thinking of other things that you can do to help, shore up your homeschool. And that is like getting discounts. Maybe you're deciding, oh, I need this, or I don't need this. Let me do, get this, supplies or whatever. And then you can use your teacher discount, which you can use on things not related to education. So that's something to keep in mind. 10 to 15 to 20%. Y'all, that adds up. All right. Let's see. So for science, outsourced, but we like Ellery. Is it Ellery? Let me find out the name of this one because I feel bad not saying this. It's the universe. If you guys know this curriculum, the ingredients of the universe, y'all know, please help me out. Y'all see I'm struggling up here. The ingredients of the universe is Ellen something. Ellen McHenry, I want to say. Ellen, not the components. They're giving me something totally. Ingredients. I know it has ingredients. Ingredients of the universe. And Ellen. Okay, here we go. Ellen McHenry. So let me go to her website. Now I love, it's called The Elements, Ingredients of the Universe. I'm about to pull that up for you. Let me just share my screen again. Okay. Now, out of stock. Oh, they're all out of stock. Well, I wonder if you can see inside. Wait, can you see the screen? I guess it helps if I share the screen. Okay, so everything's saying out of stock. Child, I got so many of these books. Accidentally buying more than what I needed. But let me just click on one and see if I can just get a sneak peek inside. Okay. Come on, Ellen, show us inside. See sample chapters. All right. Oh, and another thing. I think Real Science for Kids, or no, RSO, Real Science Odyssey. Oh, the page can't be found. Come on, Ellen. Anyway, this is a great one to use no matter your child's age, because it's so thorough. And let me tell you, with the chemistry, your child's going to learn a lot. It borders into high school stuff. Let's see if I can get a snippet of something. Click here. That's for the lab. This is, can I do physics? I don't want labs. Anyway, so for science, Ellen McHenry, come on here and check out her site. She's got a lot of stuff. Also, Guest Hollow. Guest Hollow, I forgot we used Guest Hollow. We did their biology. Let me pull that up. See, y'all, it's so much stuff, I just forget. All right, let me see if you guys can see this. Guest Hollow. I love Guest Hollow. All grade levels. All great. And she prices her curriculum so it's so reasonable, guys. Back in the day, I think she really just took donations. I think like 8 years ago when I first started using her stuff, I think like it was like donations. Well, I gave like a $20 donation. She's got, if you want to do a little bit of high school or some upper middle school, she's got an economics curriculum that you can use. But let me show you. For science, we use her. Let me pull up curriculum. And we want science. All right. She blinded me with science. Make sure you can see my screen. Okay, boom. So this is Guest Hollow. I forget the lady's name, but she's just so wonderful. This is a labor of love. All right. So we did, oh, she changed it up. Okay. We did the anatomy one. We did junior anatomy and then the regular anatomy. And we did, what was the other one we did? Because Lord knows I have all the books. We had one, it wasn't this, was it the season? No, it wasn't that. It might have been botany. I know actions and reactions, that wasn't there back in the day. Now I did buy the high school biology curriculum, but then my son went to public school. So we didn't use that. No, we did chemistry in the kitchen. I remember we did chemistry in the kitchen. Now with Guest Hollow, you see she covers all grade levels, pre-K all the way to high school, and then the subjects. She has geography, history, language arts, science, government economics, and personal finance, which is fairly new. Wasn't there back like 8 years ago. I did buy the economics one because number one, I had most of the books that she mentioned, and I just wanted like a curriculum to kind of go with it. The one thing about Guest Hollow, you will buy or have to go to the library to get the books. You see right here? and she'll show you a snapshot of all the books you need to get. And you don't need them all at once. You know, you get on your library and just go ahead and just start the order, and then see what's in stock, see if you have to do an interlibrary loan to get what you need. But we have literally almost all of this. So so I wanted the curriculum to go with that. Okay. And then you can use this in any grade level. And that's the beauty of a lot of things that she uses. Her books, she has such a variety of books that can appeal to multiple grade levels. So for if you're just like, you know what, I don't want a big commitment, let me just get something that I can use for each child, you know, the digital downloads, and then you have the books. And so you really only just buy that curriculum one time. And if you want to be in the Guyver about it, you can chop up the curriculum to where you can use that curriculum for 1 year, and then the next year by just doing a deeper dive. So there's all kinds of ways you can manipulate that curriculum. Any questions so far? Any questions so far, guys? So that is science, right? Guest Hollow, Ellen McHenry, OutSchool. We also use RSO, which is Real Science Odyssey, for biology only, for biology. They have a free first couple of chapters, and the chapters are pretty lengthy, which convinced me to get that. Mind you, the one thing I don't like is that the book is like that thick. So I do wish more curriculum or publishers would, when they have a really thick volume for their textbook or learning resource, is break it up, because you're not going to do that whole book in one semester. It's really 2 semesters worth of work. Just make 2 books. But they do that because psychologically people are like, I got to buy 4 books or 2 books when I can just buy 1 book. So it's the psychological aspect to it. All right. All right. So that's science. Does she not know? All right. Okay. Decline. All right. What else? Grammar. Do we want to talk about grammar? Does anybody have any questions about the curriculum so far? No questions at all? I'm looking at some. Oh, hold on. Let me show you. Let me get up. I didn't want to move because I have lights and everything. All right. Let me show you. Let me just show you what this one of the books looks like. Excuse me. Let me move over here for a second. Okay, so I'm going to pull out RSO. And let's see, what else do I have here? These are just some books I just had on because I was going to, finish up my reviews. Oh, here are the writing and rhetoric books, guys. All right, hold on. I'm just going to grab a couple. And well, I'm lying. I'm just going to grab. Okay. Oh, good. I got book 7. All right. All right. Oh, man, I can't get past you guys. Let me see. Hold on. I got all these lights everywhere. All right. Okay. Y'all stop looking at my behind and my panty line. All right. So, as I was saying, publishers, stop making big old 500-pound tomes of books. Look at big. Hold on, make sure I didn't put my name on the side. Okay. Stop making these. This is a telephone-sized book. We don't need that. And kids look at this and they run for the hills. But it was a good it's a good curriculum. It is black and white, but I'm not doing a curriculum review. We'll be doing those in the future. But it's huge. So I didn't like that. Did not like that. And then it slips out of your hand and then you break your nail. So going back to writing. So with writing let me just finish up and then we can talk about writing and rhetoric for like 7th grade. I can probably go grab Right Source. I got grammar. See, where were we, guys? What were we talking about? We did science, grammar. Oh, okay. So for grammar, I'm trying to hit all the major topics. History. Okay, so we started with Bookshark, which I got the big old, I'm gonna get you sucker. Again, I don't know why publishers do this. Bookshark is absolutely insane with how big that thing is. And I would get it, but I have a whole bunch of other books on top of it. But it's intensive in that you have to do, there's a lot of reading for different ways of reading. One is things your child reads, things that you read together as read alouds. There are poems as literature components phased in. So it is pretty, it can get pretty intensive, especially if you're using literature-based learning for your other subjects. It could be a lot for your child, right? All right. But for history, we did start with Bookshark. I love how it does offer that all to you. You don't have to use every component of Bookshark to make that curriculum successful. Let's see. So in middle schools, I think I hit all of them. Science, history. Oh, history, we also use Joy Hakeem. And then I have my own personal resources, my own books, with my own intentions for what I wanted my children to learn and from whose perspective. So history is going to be a personal issue for you, just like biology is a personal issue for some people. So I'm just throwing out some of the curriculum that I would bring in because they use a lot of books, or like with Joy Hakeem, The History of Us, which I think, oh, hold on. I got some right here. Hold on, y'all. Now, Miss Hakeem or Hakim, because I've heard it said both times. And until I hear her say her last name out her mouth, that's what it is. So this is, okay, what book is this? Book 4, book 2. All right. So this is what it looks like. It's a very conversational type of history book. It's got a little bit of color, but it has lots of insets where it gives you lots of additional information. And it's really interesting information. Lots of pictures. So it's not a dry text. It does give you a lot of information. We listened to this on audiobook while my kids read. So, and the author, and we did it on Audible. And the author, as a matter of fact, I'll show you right now. The author, the lady who reads it, it's not Joy. It's very pleasant to listen to. And I recommend find you a discount for Audible. Let me see if I can find a discount for on Audible for you guys. All right, so hold on. Let me make sure I don't show my name. All right, so let me go to library and let me scroll down. But y'all can't see that. Okay, let me pull your post off. All right, so Audible, let's see. Gift of Imperfections, Atomic Habits, Filling the Secret. Okay, here we go. Hold on.
My editor says that I will have to wait until book 10 of A History of Us to write a proper thank you page.
I don't want to get a copyright strike, but you can hear her voice.
And told me what they thought of it. Or about the teachers and educators and friends who encouraged me.
I don't know if you can hear it, but it's really a good listen to, very pleasant speaking voice. This is on Audible. I'm trying to get the glare off so you guys can see. Here we go. That's what it looks like. And then I have credits. I have lots of credits because I've been on Audible forever. But there are lots of little discount codes you can find throughout if you want to get that. Okay, so that's history. What else? Grammar. Literature-based grammar is Fix It Grammar, which I don't know where it is. I think it's in my oldest son's room because I have a lot of my old homeschool curriculum in his room, which he wants out stat. It's literature-based, so they'll take passages and they'll dissect it. I like that format because you are mimicking great works of writing, and you get exposure to great writers and stories. So by the time your child is an adult, they are so well read, or at least they are exposed or have been exposed to such great literature, they can pick up nuances in conversations or just in the world, because they'll know when someone says this that a lot of people don't know about it, they'll be like, oh, okay, I know what they're trying to say. I know what they're doing, because they are well read or at least exposed to great works of writing. All right. Any questions so far? You guys are kind of shy today. We are 40 minutes in. I will make this an hour. Oh, grammar. So fix-it grammar, story-based approach to grammar. Then if you just also writing and rhetoric, let me show you some of the grammar, because they still, now I have a teacher's edition, which I will be doing giveaways of my writing and rhetoric grammar, because I went on a, I have a business, and so I bought a lot of curriculum to do curriculum reviews and things like that for write-offs. But let me just show you examples of grammar. Here we go, right here. All right, this is lesson 8. Each book has 12 lessons, so this is like, past the halfway mark. So let's see. And you'll have the writing sprinkled, the grammar sprinkled throughout, but typically it's going to be under writing time. Let me make this. Let me see. Let me stand up for this. Okay. So writing time. There you go. And you'll see sentence play. Now, what does that look like? Let's turn the page. Never mind. I'm going to sit down. So for this one, you'll see that they're talking about sentence fragments and run-on sentences. Okay. Now, this is like 6th, 7th grade, right? Because this is book 7. And book 7 is grade 6 and 7th. And even then, they're talking about fragments and run-ons. So you see, and then they'll take the passages from what the topic or the story is for that lesson. Each lesson, or chapter, in this case, a lesson is a chapter, has a focus. And then that grammar where the examples will relate to what that book is. So that's, it's not challenging. The thing is that there's a lot of emphasis placed on rewriting words, your sentences, which I think is actually pretty good. So that's grammar. So you get a smidging of grammar. But if you just want the get it done grammar, I do recommend a couple of these. This is the Easy Grammar series. Now I have the teacher edition. Okay. And I recommend getting, if you were going to get this, the student book looks like this too. You see how thick that is? Which I think is totally ridiculous. But it really does get the job done. The main proponent that sets Easy Grammar apart, aside from you do something, well, I'll just show you, every day. All right. Okay. And then you have like your pre-test, your pre-assessment, post-assessment. Okay, but this is my teacher edition. What am I showing you? Yeah, so you do a page, up to you, but they recommend you just do a page a day. It's manageable. And hey, Katesh, yes, you finally caught a live. I should keep saying this throughout the live. I am testing out new live stream days and times. They're on the community tab, so please take a vote. Today, Tuesday, we started live at 12. Wednesday will be 11, and then Thursday 10. So just think of it as 12, 11, 10. But you see how it's just, well, that one is a little bit intense, but conjunctions. It gives you like a little explanation. It's not going to be a whole, learning lesson on the topic. It gives you like a 1-pager, and then you go straight into the work. Okay. So if your child has never been introduced to something, a concept, they might struggle. That instruction page might not be enough. So you might have to like do a little bit more review or teaching and then set them loose on this. But for grammar, if you just want to get it done, Easy Grammar, also Daily Grams. I think they're from the same company. They're both really, really good in the fact that it gets done. And if you want to get the test booklets, I had two. I'll probably give one away. Test booklets to just say, hey, every couple of weeks, I'm just going to see what you're remembering. Because maybe that curriculum, maybe things are hard for your kids to remember. It doesn't resonate with them. You never know. Also, for curriculum, Michael Clay Thompson. For grammar, Michael Clay Thompson. Grammar Island, that's the entry level, which I think is 3rd grade, 4th grade. But child, it's any grade you want to start your child off with, okay? Let's see. Hey, Antoinette. Hey, Nick. I was looking at Easy Grammar for the boys. You want to talk about it? I have Easy Grammar 7, which I think is a red book. Well, it's not 7. I think after 6, it's just called Easy Grammar Plus. I just know it's red because my son used it last year in 8th grade. Yeah. But it's for 7th and up. So if you want, we can take a look at it. Tomorrow, I will be bringing in more of the curriculum. Like, let's say maybe tomorrow we can focus on maybe math. Because, okay, I'll have to focus on one curriculum a day because for math, this is what I have. I have the whole complete set of Beast Academy, the whole complete set of Singapore Math, both Standards Edition and Common Core. I have Dimensions Math, I think 6th and 7th. I think I might have a 5th grade one that I didn't use. I have the whole series of Life of Fred from elementary to high school. I have Math Mammoth. I just have 2 years of that. I think 6th and 7th grade. And then I have Mequon, which is for the elementary set. And I got a whole bunch of stuff. So eventually I'm going to make a recorded video where I do comparison on all the math curriculum. I just have to reset up this place and pull out my Costco table so I can have everything out. And then I can show you how each one differs. I do that with the Beast Academy and Singapore Math. It's one of my past videos. And I take you chapter by chapter and I show you, this is how they start off with fractions. This is how they end with fractions. In this book, this is how they start with fractions. This is how they end with it. And then let's see what the drive looks like. This book is more scenic. This book is more, we going straight down the freeway. We ain't doing no detours. We are not going through no hills, over hills, nothing. So, and then you get to see, okay, maybe people said this curriculum was really difficult, but it's only one chapter that's really difficult. Or maybe they say it's really easy, but it's, we just break down the myths. A lot of times people don't just look and compare curriculum. And I happen to have a master's in curriculum design and course development. I know what to look for. I know what publishers do. I know their mandates from the state, from boards, from institutions. And, a lot of hands are in the mix, and most of them don't involve educators' hands. So that's something to keep in mind. All right. Okay, so I hit all the basic 6 or 7 topics. Extra ones like logic, character traits. I don't deal with any Bible or religious I used to do memory work, but I know where I see that used a lot is with memory work. The mornings, like their devotionals and things like that. So there's a place for that. I just don't do it, so I don't talk about it. But I have used curriculum that is religious based, which is the logical fallacy detective. Oh, hold on. Let me see. Antoinette says, I meant grammar, not grammar. Oh, girl, we understand, because we are not grammar police on here, because Lord knows I know a couple of my titles back in the past. I misspelled. One time I misspelled homeschool, and one of the moms, she hasn't been on it in a while, actually. She was like, girl, quick, change your title. I was like, God, yes. I'm gonna look like a fool trying to teach something, and I can't spell the basics. But we can talk about that. If you guys have any questions, if you have a curriculum and you want me to kind of look at it and break it down for you, owning that I am familiar with it, then let me know. But then otherwise we'll get out of here. It's 49 minutes. I want to go for exactly 1 hour. I've been talking the whole time. Antoinette, or who was it that wanted to come on? Was that you, Antoinette? Did I send you a link? I don't even know if that was you. I'll have to do it after this live. Any other questions on curriculum? This was a hit. I mean, this was a real quick. I decided to go live like maybe an hour ago. So I don't have everything I want to show you because I really didn't know what I was going to talk about. But I know curriculum is a hot spot for everybody, especially at the beginning of your homeschool year where you're using something new and you're not really feeling it, or you've been using something that has been comfortable for you and now it's not working. So we are here to talk about that, and homeschool wins, which I'll probably end with that. Yes, it was, but I'm at work right now. All right, so let me know if I sent you the copy link, because I have so many DMs I need to catch up on, and I need to get on the ball with that. But email me here. Let me put my email in here. Wait a minute. I think you did email me. Let me check. Let me make sure I'm not sharing my screen. Okay. And guys, if you have something, you want to talk to me about, you can always email me at homeschoolknockouts@gmail.com. No, so let me put my email in the chat. Did I do it right? Homeschool knockouts. Okay. So you can send me your email to my email, and then I can send you the link. And what Antoinette is talking about, if you guys want to come on live with me, you don't have to show your face or your house. You can do any of that. You can just be audio, and it'll just be like boop, 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 like little audio things. It won't even show you. Or if you want to show yourself, that's even better. But you can come on, you can share your experiences, you can share any comments you have. You talk about anything. I'm, within a reason, but you can talk about it. You can come on in, because we all kind of want to hear other people's stories, so we don't feel like we're all alone in this. Antoinette says, all my patients are down right now, so I was able to jump on. All right, girl. Well, listen, so long as they're not zombie patients. I just finished watching True Blood like last month. I just binged on it. So now, and I'm not even into that vampire kind of goth or whatever you call that genre, but I was like, wow, I really like this series. And I love Lafayette. So, oh my goodness. So anyway, here's my email address. So if you want to email me, that's the quickest way to get my attention versus IG. I just have so much mail, and I need to start sorting it with primary and general. But I'm getting better because I'm on here doing stuff. So anyway, if there are no more questions about curriculum, I will get out of here. If there is something that I have never talked about that you would like me to talk about, I might be able to get access to it and look it over, unless they have like a full online thing where I can look at it online. Let me know, and I can help break it down, how to use it, how to chop it up, how to figure out how to make it work with your child's learning style, or if it's too intense, how to lessen that, or if it's kind of bare bones, how to supplement the curriculum. So basically, it's like being a sorcerer or sorceress with the curriculum. But anyway, thank you guys for coming in. I'm trying to see what's a good time for you guys. I know a lot of you are homeschooling right now, which is why when YouTube said on Tuesdays, most of my followers are on at 12 o'clock. And then it like gets lower as the day wears on. So I'm like, 12 lunchtime on the West Coast. I can see parents coming on. And then 1, 2, and 3, parents are probably still in the thick of homeschooling, maybe not the East Coast. So I thought that was really interesting, which is why I put the poll up, because I'm like, well, let me ask the people versus what YouTube is saying. So I hope this is a good time for you guys. Maybe it's not 12 o'clock, maybe it's like 12:30 or something. So please take that poll. And if there's like another time that's just so close, put it in the comment section. Like, oh, 12 is cutting it close, but 12:30 works great. And if you are one of my veteran subscribers, I'll give preference to that. And I know who you guys are. So so let me know. So I'm going to get out of here. If you guys would do me a favor and put a like on the channel, it helps to push out this video. I know I owe you guys a freebie from being offline for a while. I haven't decided what that's going to be, but I want it to be something really nice and juicy, not just a one-off page. So I'm thinking of something like a bundle, but I'm not sure. So I haven't forgotten about you guys. I have not forgotten about you guys. I will have a freebie, just don't know when, but it's coming. Let's see. Antoinette says, you got to give us a heads up when you're going to be on. I love catching your lives. So Antoinette, so I have the whole schedule on the community tab. So go there and then you'll see the little schedule that I give for just this week only. So after this week, I'm going to look at the data and the analytics and you guys, and then I'll post a regular schedule starting next week. But this week, I just wanted to see who's actually showing up. Let me see what they say. And then I can have as much information to make that decision. And then I can say, hey, this day and this time, now you guys can know and prepare for that. Because I like YouTubers who list their day and time when they go live or when they drop videos, just because it just lets me know, oh, I can expect to watch this around this time at the earliest or something like that. So I will definitely have that up. And then also, if you're on IG, if you follow me on IG, homeschool_knockouts, I always, right before we go live, I'll give a shout out saying, hey, I'm going live. I'm going to do a little bit better and maybe do a 10-minute shout out on IG, just to give people from IG time to come over to YouTube versus my little 1 minute before heads up. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for showing up. And please go to the community tab and let us know what day and time works best for you. And please put a like, please, if you found some value in this, so YouTube can help push the channel out to more homeschoolers like you. And I will see you tomorrow, Wednesday at 11 o'clock Pacific time, 12 o'clock Mountain time, 1 o'clock Central time, and 2 o'clock Eastern time. Did I do that right? 11, 12, 1, 2. Yeah. So 11 o'clock Pacific time, 2 o'clock Eastern time, and y'all in the middle of the time zones. Y'all figure out what your time is. All right, guys. Hold on, one last quote. I want your input on everything you need to know in one big fat notebook. That reminds me of those big fat notebooks, the black one that says everything you need to know in one big fat notebook, and it's like English version, then the world history version, and the science version. I have something similar to that, and I'm going to be sharing that with you once I focus on once I get the live stream day and time. I have so many backed up videos and stuff. I just want to do it right. I want to be consistent. And so I'm holding off on dropping everything because I want to be consistent. I'll be dropping. One thing I will be doing for sure, we will be going live every week, no matter what. I will be dropping videos every week, pre-recorded videos, because I have a lot in queue actually. So I'm proud of myself for that. So stay with me. I have some really fun things in the work. I'm really excited to share. It's just coming. I just want to be able to be consistent for you guys. All right. I've been bumping my gums. Let me get out of here and get something to eat and clean up this mess. Y'all always make me mess up my studio with all these books and stuff I bring in here. They didn't even use half these books. But that's okay. We're doing it tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.